Hello. Hello, hello, hello. 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 Welcome. Come in. Have a seat. Sit down. Make yourself comfortable. That's so dumb. Alright, guys. Today, I'm going to be working on this Virginia quarter. We're going to make this into a size 11.5 ring. And the first thing we got to do to get started is punch a hole in it. So we're going to use this specialty tool right here. This is from jasonsworks.com. It's really cool. You can place your coin on this little thing right there, and as you tighten it down, it's cone shaped on the inside, so it's automatically going to center your coin in there, which is really important. You want to make sure your holes are right in the middle so that your band is even all the way around. I like to use a 1/2 inch punch if anyone's curious, and we're just going to hammer this on through here. There's our cool little Virginia pirate ship center punch. And if anybody has any questions while I'm working on this, feel free to ask. If y'all are enjoying this live stream, make sure to tap the screen. And we're just going to keep on keeping on, making this into a ring. Here's our coin so far. Now, if you look on the inside there, you can see it's a little rough. So I like to use what's called a deburring tool. That's this thing. And we're just going to cut away that rough edge and smooth it out. And during this point, it is kind of the slow boring part. So if you guys would make sure to tap the screen, so we can get as many people in here to watch me make coin jewelry as possible. That'd be great. There we go. Got it nice and smooth. Doesn't that look much better? What are the prices? You can tap the gold chain at the bottom of the screen here. That'll pull up my website. I'll also pin it so you guys can find that pretty easy. I make a bunch of different types of coin rings. So my price range is from like $19 up to a couple hundred. It really depends on the coin you would like made into a ring. See what other questions we have here. It is defacing currency, but it's not against the law. The law specifically talks about fraudulently defacing currency. So that would be like taking a penny and making it look like a dime and then trying to deceive someone. But that's not what I do. I make jewelry. That's totally protected under the law. It's very similar to penny smashing machines you might find at like Six Flags legally. Here we've got a doming block and a Delrin ball bearing. Yeah, no problem. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. And like I said, tap on that gold chain, or you can visit the link in my profile if y'all want to check on my website. But if you tap that gold chain, it'll just pull it up here in TikTok, so you don't actually leave. You can just check out my stuff through there. It's pretty cool. So, one man, made in America business, so I do appreciate y'all's support. And we're just going to keep on folding this thing out here. Get real close for this one. If y'all haven't yet, make sure to hit that follow button. I am so close to 200,000 followers, so I could really use any help. If you've got just a spare follow to hand out, send it my way. There's our ring so far. You can see it's got a bit of a cone shape. We're going to stretch that out and get rid of that shape here in a second. I may make this look easy, but I have been doing this for about 3 years. And one hiccup thing you really need to pay attention to is this cut edge. We got to make sure that's nice and smooth. So we're going to sand that down here. While I do that, let me see if I've got any questions here. Haven't seen it done this way? Hey. Hey, buddy, bought Aztec rings. Any suggestion for polishing? These are my favorite. So I get these at Walmart in the jewelry section. They're just like dry, white jewelry polish cloths. And they clean stuff up very quickly. They also kind of leave behind like this dark color so you can actually see what you're working on. Like as it gets cleaner and cleaner and shinier, your polish rag will get darker and darker. It's kind of an indicator that you're doing a good job. Yeah, it is legal. So that's what I recommend. If you want to get it super duper shiny, you could get some of this mother's polish and then just get yourself, what are these called? Microfiber cloths, and just kind of like rub it out on these two. That works really well. It's a little more intensive than just the polishing cloth. They both work, but this is going to make it shine like it's brand new. That's my favorite polish right there. Very good. Never dull. I've never heard of it. Knoll dull. I can't even read. Not sure what that is. Yeah, I really, really like that polish. I've actually went through my first tub of it, so this is my second one. Highly recommend. It's very good. Polish all metals. Knoll dull. I'll take a screenshot of that and check it out. So I'm always up for trying something new. Thank you for following. If you guys haven't hit the follow button yet, help me get to 200K. I sure would appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Fix Shift. Now, since this one's going to be like a size 11.5, I am going to anneal it. The rings I'm wearing, this is my wedding ring. It's made out of a guitar and a piano key. My wife got this for me, and I absolutely love it. This is a ring I got like in 2006 at Knott's Berry Farms. This guy was just selling like Celtic rings with like dragons and stuff on them, and I really, really liked it. I've worn it so long that it has like shape to my thumb. And this one is a Morgan silver dollar. This one I made myself. It's from 1890. Could definitely use a cleaning, but still got really nice detail on the inside. But yeah, that's what I'm wearing. Uses on brass to get it really shiny. Okay. Yeah, man, thank you so much. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to go ahead and try and get this in frame. If y'all are enjoying this live, make sure to tap the screen, send some likes my way. We got 1,200 at the moment. I bet y'all could get to 2,000 pretty quickly. I bet you could. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I'll have to try it out. It's called Never Dull. Where do I get my dies from? There's two main like die brands I really like. The first one's called Legacy Brand Tools. That's my absolute favorite. It was this is the first die I ever bought. This is my 17 degree die. I got this from Legacy Brand Tools. They're a little cheaper than the other one, and they're just as good. I really, really like Legacy Brand Tools. But for some other stuff, I also have Jason's Works. And his tools are top-notch. They're a little more spendy. He also makes this center punch that auto-centers your coins. Very good tools, but you will definitely have to save up for them. But I think I can justify the expense because I definitely use them like every day. But yeah, those are my two favorite die companies, I suppose. It's Jason's Words and Legacy. Alright, this is the most tricky part to film. So bear with me as I get this set up here. This is my ring stretcher, and it likes to knock my phone over while I film. So we're gonna hope this stays steady. We're gonna pop our ring on here, and as I pull this handle up, the spike comes out the top, and it's kind of cone shaped, so it's wider at the bottom than it is at the top, and it pushes these splines outward and stretches the ring. So that's what we're doing here. So we're just stretching this ring out. And one thing I discovered probably about a year and a half into making coin rings is there's a certain point stretching it out where there's so much contact with the stretcher that there's a lot of resistance. And just as a fluke, I flipped the ring over, and because it's cone shaped, there's a lot less contact now. So you can continue to stretch it if you just keep flipping it around, and that gives you a lot more grace with annealing. You don't have to anneal it as much, and I've snapped a lot less rings flipping them around like that. That was just like a random thing I tried. I was like, I wonder if I can just flip the ring over and keep stretching it, and I mean, it's made a world of a difference. So this one is going to be 11 and a half, so I want to stretch it up one size over, really close to 12 and a half here. Do you see how much distance we got from flipping it up and down? That's a huge range. I don't know, hopefully that tip's helpful. Do I do the Swedish wrap method? With like larger coins that I have to get down to like really small sizes, so like Morgan dollars and stuff like that, I'll Swedish wrap them. I've got a few Swedish wraps, but for like quarters, mostly I just use the 17-degree dies. They're my favorites. I like 17-degree dies a lot. That's about what we're going to use. Right here is my first 17-degree die. And if you look at our coin ring right now, it's still got a little bit of that cone shape to it. So that's why I stretch it one size over. So now we can reduce one side, make it nice and even. Gives it a straight wall look. And we're just trying to get this down to 11 and a half, so we're not going to shrink it too crazy. Like the fat tire look on the $50. See, I really like straight wall look on most coins, even the $50. I really, really like straight walls. It's always nice to meet a fellow coin ring maker. I do appreciate you coming on here and watching. It does make me sweat a little bit because you know all the tricks. So if I do something stupid, you can call me out, but so far nothing stupid. We're holding out, doing pretty good. Get this right at 11 and a half here. Right at 11 and a half. I'm going to slightly reduce the cut edge just so we get a nice even band here. I think I might do it just a little more. Oh, well, I'm glad I could be helpful. It's good to hear. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. If y'all want to check out my shop, you can tap the gold chain at the bottom of the screen. If y'all want to get a really good coupon for my store, go to the last video I posted. There's like a super good coupon on that video, so go check it out. And here is our ring so far. It's got a lot of fire scale on it, so that's the next thing we're going to address. I like to start with this 4-0 superfine steel wool and just knock off as much of it as I can. You want to make sure you use superfine steel wool because anything above that's going to scratch up your details. This is so fine, it just kind of knocks off that top layer. And I've got these in copper clad and 90% silver. All 50 states available. You can also pick specific years on coins, different types of coins, quarters, half dollars, dollars. Fine silver rounds, a lot of different designs on those too. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. We're just going to finish this one up. And then we're going to go to the mother's polish. And this stuff basically just eats the rest of the fire scale off. I've done this before where I didn't do the steel wool first, and it left quite a bit of fire scale, so that's why I do that first. So it gets that really, really tough top layer off. And then the rest we can get off with this polish. And I just completely coat the ring inside and out with this stuff, and then just kind of let it sit for a couple minutes. And it'll just eat most of that fire scale right off of there. Yeah. So we'll just set that aside. For a size 17.5, that would have to be probably a 1 ounce silver round, like an American Eagle or something like that. I do have quite a few options in those designs, but they are $300. Here's an example of a 1 ounce fine silver round. This is a Canadian maple. So they come out really, really thick. They're super hefty coins, and I can stretch a coin this big up to 17.5. So I think I've done a 20. Dual live together. I've tried them. It's really distracting. Like, it's hard enough to film what I'm doing and do it correctly. It's nothing personal. It's just it's more than I could really handle. I appreciate the offer though. Thank you. Kind of an obscure quarter. The Canadian maple, yeah, that is fine silver. See right there, 0.999, 1 ounce fine silver. Yes, sir. Say I do fine silver, 90% silver, 40% silver, copper clad, and I do have one gold coin ring currently. That's a 1/4 ounce gold American Eagle. See if we can get a better one. Alright, so this one is, can you make these out of real quarters, the whole thing? Got real quarters? Yeah, real quarter. That's what we're going to start with here. This is a 2014 Great Smoky Mountains. real quarter. And we're going to make a ring out of it. I want to get into casting jewelry out of silver, but was told isn't the best. What should I use? Sterling is pretty good. I really like 90% silver, so that's what most of these old silver coins, the peace dollars and Morgan dollars, they're 90%. But I do have some sterling stuff, and I really like it. Like, it's much stronger than fine silver, but it also has like a really nice polish and shine to it. Yeah, fine silver jewelry it's really like not something you want to wear every day. That's like special occasion kind of thing, because it can get dinged up and the details can get rubbed off pretty quickly. But like with the Morgan silver dollar, this is over 100 years old. This is 1890, and look at the detail on the inside here. Like, even being handled as a coin and now as a ring, it's very clear. So that's really close to sterling. 90%. So they're both really good. How's it going, man? How you been? Any word on that patent application? I wonder if that ever got approved for you. It's published, just not approved yet. Okay, cool. I'm doing good. There's our quarter so far. I got some coffee.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Always. How have you been, man? Pretty good. Busy in a minute, except for like 5 seconds.
Right. I'm a busy boy.
Yes, sir.
Coffee. Let's go. Yeah, fine silver is pretty soft, but it's definitely like the shiniest version. Let me see here. Like, this is fine silver. And you see how freaking shiny this is? Like, nothing shines up like fine silver, so it'll definitely like draw eyes, but it is soft. So that is something you need to understand. 90% silver, and sterling is much harder. And this one I'm working on right here, this is copper clad. So these are quite strong, but they can turn your finger green. So that's why I recommend 90% silver. I think that's the best. Yeah, this is a Morgan dollar. Yeah, I haven't done very much melting metal. I have a couple buddies who do it pretty frequently, but with my kiddos, I'm afraid to have anything that's going to go up to 1,800, 2,000 degrees around the house. It's just dangerous. So maybe when they get a little older, I'll give it a try. I have seen that it pairs really nicely with 3D printing. Like, you can 3D print something and then sand cast it. So that makes a ton of possibilities available. Wish you could melt down copper pennies. Do you know the guy who puts ashes in rings? I know a couple people who put ashes in rings. You're probably talking about freedom rings. But I know a bunch of people on here who make rings. I love watching people make rings. So that's a quarter of the people I follow on TikTok. as other jewelry makers. I'd love to make you a voting band. Those are absolutely my favorite types of rings to make. I'm down. So you want to be real careful if you're going to melt pennies down. Because anything after 82 is going to explode. I've had it happen twice. It's not a fun time. Have zinc gush out of a copper casing. Dangerous. We're going to stretch this one out to 11 and a half. Why would it explode? It's just zinc. Well, it's like pressure, right? It's totally coated in copper. And copper has a higher melting point than zinc. So the zinc will basically boil inside of the copper before it melts. And as soon as just a little bit of that copper melts, that zinc comes out of there like a burst zit, except it's melted metal. It's quite the unpleasant surprise if you think the penny is copper. So that's why I don't use any pennies after 1980. I don't even want to risk it. So as long as you don't fraudulently deface the currency, it's legal. Can't do a cut first. Well, I usually make the pennies into things. And the reason I'm heating them is to anneal them, kind of soften them up. I make them into like little cowboy hats. So I'll anneal them first. And if I happen to not check very well and get a zinc one, it's an unpleasant surprise. I've only done it twice. Ever since then, I've been very careful to check the dates. And I'm honestly lucky that that metal didn't end up on me, like on my hands or something. That would hurt. How's it going, Coin Hub? Working on a Smoky Mountains quarter. This one I really like because there's like a bird right here. It's just perfect right on the ring. Looks really cool. I've done a little engraving, not to the point where I can like offer it as like an added on thing. It's a lot like stone setting. I basically engrave like a third grader writes. It's not great. And it's also really difficult to engrave on coins because there's like raised and lowered details on them. It's not like a flat surface, which is much easier to engrave on. It's like curved and there's all these details, so the engraving tool likes to skip around and scratch it up. It's a lot harder than it looks, so I've put that on the back burner for the moment. Yeah, one of them was yours. I trusted you. You live and learn. Now I check every time. I had some exploded ones. I kept them somewhere, but I don't know where they are. But I do have like a This is one of my cowboy hat pennies, keychains. So I annealed these beforehand. You can see this one's 1982. So that's copper. But I don't even mess with 82s anymore. I stop at 1980. So the other one was my fault. The second one may have been yours. I still have them just chilling here. I got your copper pennies chilling. I think 1982 has it's like 50-50. Like that's the year the transition happened. But I stop at 1980. Like 81 is going to be copper, but I don't even like getting close to it. Yeah, the cowboy hat keychains kind of slowed down. I've focused a lot more on rings. I get a sale for one every once in a while. You never know what's going to blow up here on TikTok. It's like I do one random video and that thing goes nuts. Yeah, there's quite a few options. Quarters, dimes, pennies, all kinds of cowboy hats, $50. If anybody's interested in getting something like that, coinringmaker.com. That looks really nice. See that bird I was talking about? Super cool. Fantastic. Thank you for the roses. If anybody has any questions about what I do or getting a ring made, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm just rolling through a few orders here. This is the second ring we've made today. Thank you very much. Got some music notes. That's what's up. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I've done bicentennial quarters. They are only copper clad, though. They can turn your finger green. I do have a little disclaimer about that on the back of my business cards. So basically, copper-clad rings can turn your finger green. I found the best way to prevent that is just put clear fingernail polish on it. If you're really worried about that, you can get something like 90% silver, fine silver, something that isn't going to be copper. But for bicentennials, the closest they made is 40%, and I really haven't messed with that because it's still going to turn your finger green because it's mostly copper. All right, let's see what's next. $19.83. Let's get it going. How big a ring can I make? So it depends on the coin. The biggest I can make quarters is a size 13. But the bigger the coin, the bigger the ring size I can make. Nice, nice. No, I don't have the black Morgan dollars. Those are cool though, but I don't have any of those. Just regular old Morgan dollars. Yeah, I got a like a penny sorting thing a while back, but I never really used it much. Probably because I bought all these pennies from you. Where do I get my tools? I have a recommended tool list at coinringmaker.com. It's got videos of how to use them, links on where to get them. It's the whole thing. So yeah, coinringmaker.com, recommended tool list. There's like a button for it. Yeah, no problem. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. We got 3,500 likes on this live so far. Let's see if we can take that to 4,000. I think y'all can do it. I think you can do it. Yes, if you'd like me to work on your coin, I have a button on my profile that says get a quote. It's just a little questionnaire asking about some information about the coin you want me to work on and your ring size and stuff like that. If you fill that out, I can get back to you through email, and that's how I handle most of my custom orders. And that's just on my profile here on TikTok. It just says get quote. So just tap on that and fill it out. Woo! That's the resilience of coin rings right there. That's amazing. 100 years old. That's super cool. No, it's not illegal unless you like fraudulently deface currency. So an example of that would be like taking a penny and making it look like a dime. You know, deception-y stuff. That's not what I mean. That's not what I do. I make pretty jewelry. That's what I do. They spent a lot on the ring. Yeah, a whole dime. Do I make anything out of the centerpieces? I don't make earrings because that would require 2 center punches. I do make like necklace pendants and keychains and like pins you can put on your shirt or your hat, or you can just get the center punch like as an add-on with your order, and you can make whatever you like out of it as well. But yeah, as far as earrings, that one's a little tricky because they require 2 coins where a ring requires 1. Center punch keychains look like. I don't really keep them around. So here's an example of a center punch from a regular quarter. These are the keychains I use, and I just put a hole through it and a jump ring. I don't have a finished one to show you at the moment. I should probably just keep a keychain and a necklace and a pin on hand so I can show you guys. I've had quite a few people ask about that. There we go. We got that one right at size 10.5. Perfect. I do have one of these lying around. So this is an example of another necklace design that I do. It's pretty cool. All right, let's clean this up. Well, thank you, Mama Bear. I'm glad you like it. Foreign currency. I have a couple foreign coins on my website, but really most of it is U.S. currency. Just because legally that's comfortable. That's like what I'm comfortable working on. I know I can't get in trouble. Whereas if I start dabbling with other countries' currency, there may be laws that differ. Whereas I might get myself into some hot water, which I'm not looking for. Not looking for trouble. I just want to get a bit more polished up before we send it out, but there is our 1983 size 10.5 copper quarter coin ring. Pretty cool. Let's see what. If you ever want a coin ring, I suggest you buy one today because so much character they have. Well, thank you. If anybody is interested in getting a coin ring, if you go to the last video on my profile, there's a really good coupon on that video. Just saying. It's pretty good coupon. It's pretty good. Pretty good. $4,300 likes on this live. Thank you guys very much. I would say this has definitely been a good live so far. What do you guys think? Want me to show them the center punch I got from you? No, you're good, man. I'm trying to think of what it was. What was it? Was it Walking Liberty half center punch? Ah, the American Silver Eagle with my logo. Of course. Yeah, this stamp is a good one. But using it on coins is tricky, man. Trying to keep detail on. I've had a lot of trouble with it. Like, if you look on this ring I'm wearing here, I've got, let's see if we don't show you, this little maker's mark on the inside there. You see that little cool dude with the sunglasses? But it pops out on the other side of the ring, and I still haven't figured out how to prevent that. So I haven't used the maker's mark very much. Just on personal stuff, it's so funny. Like, it's just on rings I wear. Nobody else gets my maker's mark but me. Thank you very much. Well, I try to be a good guy. I do my best. We're just super zoomed in. There we go. So you can see there's a little wobble in it. With these earlier, like 1960s, 1970 coins, they like to kind of warp. So we're going to use a different stretching method here. Put on a really small die. Put our cone on top, and that's going to, if you watch the bottom of it, that's going to help flatten that out. Keep our date from getting wavy. It can be really tricky to correct later on. Wonder if you put a coin on a piece of wood and punch it, maybe the wood would absorb. Actually, from the research I've done, like I've tried a bunch of different stuff, like underneath what I'm punching, and it turns out like the stronger it is, the better. So like these blocks, these are like steel stamping blocks. This is what I should use, but the problem is the ring is not flat, it's curved. So even when I use the stamping block, it still kind of warps out. So I need like a cradle made out of like steel that I could rest the ring into. I think that would probably be the best solution. But I don't know. It's a weird problem to have. But I want to solve it so much. Like I've wanted a maker's mark on my work since, I don't know, for years ago. And it's still something like I haven't been able to accomplish successfully. Thank you very much. I'll do it on the coin. The problem with that is when I like bend and form it into like a ring, the logo gets all warped as well. So it's like wide on top and skinny on bottom. It just looks really weird going from like a punched coin to a ring. I have tried it. It doesn't look great. Like it is like the one thing I haven't been able to figure out. Right? That's basically what I've been using my stamps for, is just stamping the ring boxes, and I think it looks really cool. But yeah, that's what the end use for my maker's mark has become, is to stamp my ring boxes. But they do look pretty cool. Right? It's the little touches, I think. Yeah. It's the little things. So we got this up to 12 1/4. Now we're going to reduce it down to 11 1/4. Kind of cracks me up that I added quarter sizes to my quarter rings. I don't know. The meta-ness of it tickles my fancy. I think it's funny. And 10 1/2. A little bit more. I had wanted to offer quarter sizes for a while, but one thing I really dislike is monotonous, repetitive tasks and adding 10 and a quarter, 10 and 3/4, 11 and a quarter, 11 and 3/4 to every ring. It was a rough day, man. I hated it, but we got it done. Say website work is a world of its own. But I think our site's looking pretty good. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, coinringmaker.com, go take a look. Let me know what you think. You can also tap the gold chain at the bottom of the screen if you want to go take a quick peek at it. So steel, the curvature. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, was like a cradle that I could set the ring into. Or maybe like, I don't know, it would have to like have a variety of different size indentions in it for different size rings too. But yeah, it would probably have to be machined. And I would just like, whenever a quarter is like at size 8 or something, I could set it in there, hammer it, and then stretch it or reduce it to whatever it needs to be. That's probably the best case. Or I could just get super ballsy and just put the maker's mark on the outside of the ring. I mean, that would probably be easier to do. That way I could do like a steel mandrel like that, and then just like hammer it on the side. That might be something I need to try. Like, I'd prefer it to be on the inside of the ring, but if there's no other way. Outside of the ring might be the way to go. There are machinists on here. You're right. There's a lot of... I love how many, like, specialists I've met on TikTok. Like, everybody's got their own niche, and, I mean, they just get into it and they crush it. I love it. This is a cool platform. Like, not just to be on as someone who makes content, but, like, to meet other creators as well. It's pretty cool. Like Mr. Wallace. What a cool dude. Alright, guys. I think I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to drink some coffee. And then I'll probably hop back on here in about, 10 minutes. So, y'all make sure to hit the follow button if you haven't yet. Go check out coinringmaker.com. I've almost hit 200,000 followers here on TikTok, so you can use the coupon code 200K. It'll save you 20% off anything at coinringmaker.com until April 1st. So, have a great day. We'll catch you next time. Bye.